girls. So I decided to come on today just quickly now that I'm self-isolating. Um, I've been able to do way more lives, which is kind of great because, as you know, I would have been doing them on a monthly basis, and then for at least about 6 to 8 months, I did not get to do lives. So, yay, we're back and we're doing a lot of lives. February, March has been a very lively, get it, lively month for me. So, I decided I did not, I've done a few videos now for like Corona and stuff like that. And I realized that within like 10 minutes or a minute, you can only say so many pieces of advice. And so most of my videos were geared towards, like management of emotions. But I felt it was really good to actually get a separate video just for things that I'm recommending while we're all home. So I'm just going to go through the list, and these are things that I've seen people do or people recommend. So kudos for you guys who are trying to like get outside of the box in terms of your ideas. So first of all, we're going to go through a list. So I've seen people developing their own little home garden or a kitchen garden. Kudos to you. I love home gardens and kitchen gardens. I actually have my own little projects that I'm working on. I just need to go and get some soil probably today or tomorrow because they will be ready. And so I actually, can you guys hear me? Like, give a thumbs up because I know the dogs next door are, there's a cow walking on the road. Yeah, when you don't live in Georgetown and there's cows walking on the road, the dogs are behaving. So let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me over the dogs. The other thing I would suggest is, and like I said, some of the kitchen gardens are so easy. Things like peppers, garlic. I actually really love seeing garlic grow because it's quite, it's growing at the bottom and the top and stuff. Onions. If you have foreign celery, you literally just chop that bad boy off and put him in a little bit of water. Don't submerge him. Pak choy. These are things that catch really easily, and you can actually just Google how to catch. There's a whole video how to catch regrow plants, basically, very simply. Anyway, so we've got home gardening, kitchen, we have yard work. So a lot of people get really overwhelmed by how their yard looks. Maybe you have a coconut tree like me, and I don't pick up any of the coconuts, and they're now everywhere. So I intend sometime during the week to just kind of, and I keep looking out the window and thinking, probably should trim that bush, or I think I should trim that coconut tree, or I should pull it down and stuff like that. So I'm going to be doing some yard work probably this week as well. So I encourage you all to do some yard work. Maybe you've been looking at a plant that's been struggling for a long time, and so you're thinking, well, this is probably a good time to go outside and check on the plants. And of course, it's really great because now you can get in taking some of that vitamin D, taking some of that sunlight. And do remember old primary school science information that vitamin C and D work together. So you could be taking in all this vitamin C that you guys are taking, but if you don't get vitamin D to activate it, you need to be able to activate some of that vitamin C that you're using. So I encourage you to go out in the sun. I wasn't feeling well last week. My mother literally put me on a chair and put me in the sun. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. On the same regard, home improvements. So if you have a room that maybe has had a crack, or half the room is painted and the other half isn't, fixing that. If you know that there's like a loose floorboard or a window that's been jammed and you need to, you want to do some fixing and stuff like that, by all means, see if it can be done yourself. Google it. We live in this technological world that everything is on YouTube. So, don't be afraid to take on a project. This could even be something as simple as repainting a side table or repainting a vase, or like picture frames, taking the picture out and spray painting them. These are really simple home improvements that I think that will really help with making you feel accomplished, which is great, helping with distracting you during this time. And when it's all said and done, you'll be like, oh, check, I got that done. Now I don't have to worry about that for the next couple weeks, months, whatever it is. Things like my partner and I have been we're trying to safeguard our fence, so we've been putting up like mesh. So we fixed one side, which is falling down, and now we're gonna fix the front. So we just needed zip ties and pliers. And so now we're gonna fix the front of the fence to keep in any little puppies and stuff that we have over time. What else? We've got cleaning out old cabinets, old cupboards, old drawers, old boxes. Maybe you haven't gone in a box in a long time. Maybe you haven't had the time or space, or now you have your kids around, and put them to good use. Tell the little ones, okay, all the, if you go in a cupboard, all the things with the red caps, put that there. All the glass, put that there. All the square ones, put that there. It's actually a really great learning tool for them, because you can say, okay, can you pull out all the circle Tupperware? Can you bring out all the circular ones, or the triangle ones, or whatever it is? You make it fun and educational for your kids. So I think that's a good way if you go through things like boxes and old cupboards and stuff. Donate. There are a lot of people that if you don't need it, they probably do. So I recommend people engaging in giving a lot at this point in time. I weigh 8 bags of collection of shoes, clothes, books, all that kind of things. Hello, Diane from Trinidad. How are you guys holding up? Another thing you could do is rearranging your room. This is the time when a lot of people get very angsty, and it's okay to understand why maybe you're angsty. Things are uncertain. You're not sure, when are we going to go back to work? When am I going to be back in my office? When am I going to get paid? Right? So, and I totally get that. And so we're going to also encourage people, rearrange rooms. Maybe looking at your bedroom, you're thinking, I wish it wasn't like this, and you're getting really fed up. Sometimes rearranging a room can make you feel more in control and more certain and more, I guess, I don't want to say like but empowered probably, to get your space to a place that you want it to be. Maybe creating a little reading nook, maybe creating a space where you can do yoga. Maybe your room's configuration right now is not suited for any of these things. Take a chance. Thank you, Asha, for letting me know that the ideas are great. You guys put in your ideas as well, please. These are just things I got from my own mind, but I got it from you guys as well. Online courses. Now, Coursera, LinkedIn also, I found out this morning, has free courses. Khan Academy. I have my cousin here, Rabia. Please let me know if Kumon also has online courses. I thought of you actually this morning. Duolingo, Rosetta Stone, just going on YouTube and just following, whether you're trying to learn Spanish, Portuguese, French, whatever it is you're trying to learn, online courses is really the best way to go right now, because that is what we're doing. Hello, even I've had to change my in sessions to now online therapy. So as well, if you want online therapy, you can let me know, because it's available. We're going to look at also things like photography. These are things that you don't really need to leave your environment for. If you have a camera and you haven't broken it out in a long time, like myself, you can do so at this point in time. Crafting, painting, it doesn't have to be like perfect. It could be abstract. You can throw paint on the wall, but you know what I mean, on your canvas or whatever, or pieces of cloth, tie-dye. There's so things like painting or tie-dye or anything like that. You don't have to go out and get a fancy canvas or anything like that. You can also do finger painting with your kids. That's something really fun and easy, and then you can display it on the fridge or in their bedrooms that you've just rearranged. Make your children a part of the process, because they're also kind of dealing with the changes as well, whereby they're home day in, day out. And I've already talked about the social issues. Go back to that video on the page, Anira Counseling and Psychological Services, ANIRA, about having your children home and how that can be also challenging for them. If you want to try old school, I would recommend old school games with your kids, because sometimes I think our children are so like zoned into the technology that they're not realizing that, hey, what is like these games that I hear my mom and parents and aunts talking about, like Quack City and Under the Palm Bush and Postman and Red Rover and Dog in the Bone. Equal actually did a old school fun day, and it was a really great turnout because I think a lot of us forget how great for some people school days were. And so we just really enjoy playing old school games. So I encourage you, teach your children old school games. Hopscotch, um, Saw out if you have a very big family and you have yard space or even space in your street that you can play. I encourage people to get to know, get in touch with your childlike self, teach your kids things that maybe you took for granted or you think they know. For those who used to like know to make Chinese, what do you call? Well, it's Chinese checkers. There's the game that we used to play with the awara seed, and you hit it, the one awara seed into like a hole. I don't know what that's called, but Chinese jump rope, where like you put all the rubber bands together and you make like a really long thing and two people stand in it and you have to jump. So I really do think that we take those things for granted and that we think our children are probably doing it at school, but they may not. So definitely old school, primary school games with your family and children would be a better bet instead of just stucking up under the Netflix. I think something, even if it's 1 hour a week, something to be do different. Um, if you do have access, like Chinese, yes, thank you. Somebody, thank you, Tisha. Some people may have access to a pool or even to like a little small pool. Like if you have little kids, going out and just buying a little inflatable pool at this point in time, I think would be really helpful. The small things that we take for granted would be really helpful at this point in time. Um, Go for a walk, not just go for a walk, man. Hangman, yes, those things are fun, and you don't have to do it in like a piece of paper. Like if you have chalk and you have an abandoned wall or an old wall in your yard, you can do that. You can do it on the wall and then just kind of wipe it off with a cloth. Marbles. Thank you, Tammy. I know the older people like me and Tammy and Tisha and so on would get it. Um, Foster an animal. Now, I talk about going, baking, cooking, because we all have to eat at some point in time. But, and I talk about going for walks, doing like exercise, that kind of thing. But not only is it going for a walk, but also fostering an animal at this point in time. And I don't mean fostering and then giving it back like after all the crowing and stuff is done. Fostering and seeing if you can actually find a home for them would be actually really beneficial for both you and somebody else who might be struggling, because we do understand that they are emotional. There's evidence to suggest that people have emotional animals for a reason. So, cats, dogs, bunnies. I know that people, some people have guinea pigs, hamsters, that kind of thing. So, if it is that you want to foster a cat or a dog right now, or kittens, maybe you have a mother cat who just dropped or something, definitely I encourage people to foster animals at this point in time, just so we can feel like we're contributing as well, even when sometimes we can't contribute the way maybe we would want to. Um, Learning a new skill online, and this doesn't necessarily mean like a set, there's courses online, and then there's learning a new skill online. So like there can be watching YouTube and learning to make like friendship bracelets for your child, or you and your child do together. There might be learning to cook a new meal, making juices. I am juicing almost every day. I make my tea potions every day also. So I encourage everyone to kind of get into like new skills, new recipes, learning to make, decorate. I have these bottles up here. If you're a collector of bottles, you can learn. I actually learned how to clean them, get off the sticker and stuff like that, and I've designed them as well before. So all of that stuff, upcycling is definitely going to be a skill that we should continue in Guyana, whether as fun or as even a career. Be okay with falling into the YouTube wormhole. That's what I would say. Be okay with that. Um, Tisha says knitting. Yes, knitting. Some people are knitting now. Young people are knitting right now, so that's great too. Try science experiments with your kids. Remember, your kids are also kind of home, they're bored, they're either stuck doing their regular things. All this stuff I'm encouraging today is definitely involvement with your family and kids because everyone's kind of home. Some people aren't. But leaving even schedules for your kids, like even if you have to go to work, say, okay, at 6 o'clock when I come home, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. It kind of gives them an incentive to get their work done. If you get your work done, we're going to play, we're going to knit together, we're going to make friendship bands, that kind of thing. And so I would say that trying like even science experiments with your kids would be fun. All it takes is some, what is it, vinegar and soda? What do you call powder? Soda, soda, whatever it is. I'm not great at this science stuff, the kid stuff. Those things have long gone. Making cubes, baking soda, right? And of course, last but not least, if anyone else, continue let the comments come in with more suggestions. But I forgot to mention this in, I think, both my live last time and even in this video that I did for another company. And it really annoys me that I forgot it. But limit your drug and alcohol use. I know we're home and I know people are like, oh, my wine is collection's almost finishing, and that kind of thing. But I want people to be mindful that with drinking, heavily drinking around this period, remember it's also Corona, but it's also an extended elections period. So I want people to consider that alcohol consumption is not probably heavy alcohol consumption is not the best thing for both our emotional mental health, but also for those who don't remember this or know this, alcohol and drugs can weaken the immune system. So while we're out there drinking, we're also exposing ourselves to the virus, but we're also weakening our immune system and thus putting ourselves at an increased risk, not only because now we're not social isolating, but we're also in the environment, our immune system is weakened, and then we are hanging around people that could also have it. So it's like double risky. And so I just want to leave that with you guys. I'm so happy that you guys contributed, and I'm so happy that with the great ideas, continue to comment below, share, and keep adding what you guys are doing, because I think it'll be helpful for all of us to know and get some great ideas. Okay, thank you, bye bye, and thank you all for joining in, and I'll see you guys later.